Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory turned a simple candy tour into one of cinema's most unforgettable adventures. More than 50 years later, fans still remember the snozberries, the blueberry girl, and the mysterious chocolatier at the center of it all. Here's what happened to the cast who brought the magic to life. Willy Wonka almost didn't get his famous entrance, the limp turning into a somersault. But Gene Wilder made it a condition of taking the role, so no one would know if the man was lying or telling the truth. He was 37 that summer, also a trained fencer. He married 4 times, and his romance with Gilda Radner, before her death from ovarian cancer, became one of Hollywood's most devastating love stories. He later survived lymphoma and quietly battled Alzheimer's for 3 years, hiding it so fans kept seeing Wonka, not a man fading. He died in 2016 at 83, still the standard every new Wonka is measured against. Off-camera, Julie Dawn Cole was nothing like Veruca Salt, the spoiled rich girl who refuses to wait her turn at Wonka's factory, so much that Wilder called her an angel. She turned 13 the same day she filmed the I Want It Now number, not realizing the rock she smashed her chocolate egg on was real, leaving a cut still visible, bleeding through her stocking in later shots. She married actor Nick Wilton and raised 2 kids who found her bratty persona mortifying, before retraining as a psychotherapist working with families in crisis. Now 68 and divorced, she jokes her real love life never matched Veruca's talent for getting exactly what she wanted. Grandpa Joe's leap out of bed to dance through I've Got a Golden Ticket wasn't editing magic. Jack Albertson really was that spry at 63. A former vaudeville hoofer, putting old skills to use one more time. He'd already beaten Gene Wilder for an Oscar 2 years earlier. Winning Best Supporting Actor for The Subject was Roses, and he was married to Wallace Thompson for nearly 3 decades by the time cameras rolled. He kept a colorectal cancer diagnosis private in his final years just to keep working, on shows like Chico and The Man, until his death in 1981 at 74. His daughter later married actor Wes Studi, linking Wonka's grandfather to the last of the Mohicans in a way nobody saw coming. Charlie Bucket walked away with the entire chocolate factory, and Peter Ostrom walked away from Hollywood just as completely, turning down a 3-picture deal because acting wasn't for him. He was 12 during filming, sharing lunch with Gene Wilder daily, treatment he credits for helping him perform like an equal. He became a large animal vet in 1984, spending nearly 40 years treating dairy cows and horses, clients often unaware he'd once owned a chocolate factory on screen. For years, he told people his brother was the actor, too embarrassed to admit it himself. Now 68 and married to Loretta for 39 years, he's retired since 2023 and attends conventions sporting a thick mustache that makes him unrecognizable as Charlie. Long before gamers knew her as Agatha in Fallout 3, Diana Saul was singing Cheer Up Charlie as Mrs. Bucket, the hardworking mother trying to feed her family on cabbage soup. She was 40 during filming, in the only song in the movie not performed by Wonka or a kid. Widowed in 2013 after her second husband Bill passed, she spent 25 years running a free literacy program for underprivileged kids in Washington, D.C. She outlived most of the adult cast, becoming the last surviving Wonka parent after Gene Wilder's death in 2016, before passing herself in 2018 at 88, leaving a legacy split between candy and video games. Mike Teevee shrank down to nothing in the WonkaVision room, and decades later Paris Themin nearly did the opposite, going viral mid-broadcast on Jeopardy in 2018 when fans realized the mystery contestant was the kid from Wonka. He was just 11 during filming, the youngest of the bad kids, and notoriously such a handful that he once let bees loose in the cast van. He quit acting at 14 to be a normal kid, later building an oddly varied career as a real estate broker, casting director, and Disney Imagineering rep. Now 67 and married to fellow trivia buff Nikki Grillos since 2014, he's an avid backpacker who has visited more than 60 countries. Augustus Gloop was the gluttonous kid who falls into the chocolate river, and Michael Bollner filmed that fall in real freezing water dyed brown, repeating the soggy take multiple times. He was 12 during filming and the only cast member who didn't speak fluent English, learning his lines phonetically without understanding most of what the crew said. His father insisted he finish school instead of pursuing more acting, and he became a tax accountant in Munich, ironically growing into the tallest of the child stars at 6'4". Now 67 and divorced, he says almost nothing publicly about his life outside the accounting firm, surfacing only occasionally at reunions dressed in a suit instead of his old chocolate-stained costume. Mrs. Gloop spent her screen time fussing over her son Augustus before he tumbled into the chocolate river, delivered by German stage veteran Ursula Reit, with comedic exasperation that stole every scene she shared with reporters. She was 56 during filming, already an established character actress back home. What shocks fans who dig deeper is that she later appeared in several schoolgirl report films, a series of softcore sex comedies that were mainstream entertainment in 1970s Germany. Details of her marriage stayed private throughout her life, and outside Germany she remained almost unknown beyond this role. She died in 1998 at 84, her name only resurfacing decades later as a piece of shocking Wonka trivia. Mr. Slugworth was the sinister rival chocolatier tempting kids to steal a gobstopper, but Günther Meisner, the German actor who played him, was actually one of the gentlest men in the cast, a humanitarian who personally traveled to Vietnam and Cambodia delivering aid to children. He was 44 during filming, later dubbing his own voice for the German release. He spent much of his career typecast as Nazis and villains, purely because of his sharp features, despite being a refined intellectual who founded a Berlin art gallery and spoke 4 languages. Married to Gisela Albrecht until his death in 1994 at 68, he was honored in 2026 with Berlin retrospectives marking what would have been his 100th birthday. Snozberries. Whoever heard of a snozberry only works because of how Roy Kinnear delivered it, turning Mr. Salt into the perfect enabling father for a daughter who gets everything she wants. He was 36 during filming and genuinely apprehensive about the real fall-down-the-garbage chute, even though it landed safely on a mattress. He married actress Carmel Cryan in 1968, and the two raised 3 children, including a daughter with cerebral palsy he advocated fiercely for until his death. In 1988, while filming in Spain, he fell from a horse and died the next day from a heart attack, a tragedy that forced the film industry to overhaul its safety standards. Mrs. Teevee spent the movie scolding her TV-obsessed son, Mike, and correctly identifying a musical lock as Rachmaninoff, played by Nora Denny with a prim, oblivious energy. She was 43 during filming, and in a twist nobody saw coming, her real sons grew up to found the legendary L.A. punk band The Weirdos, making this proper movie mother and accidental godmother of the punk scene. Before Wonka, she'd worked as a local horror TV host named Marilyn the Witch in Kansas City, a role that resurfaced as a viral Halloween meme decades later. She married Hallmark illustrator Alan Denny and was widowed before her own death in 2005 at 78, after quietly battling cancer in her final years. Long before he became Mr. Beauregarde, panicking through Violet's blueberry transformation, Leonard Stone was already a Tony nominee with credits on Mission Impossible and Gunsmoke. He was 46 during filming, and his rapid-fire line about Violet's contract was done in a single take, fast enough to impress even Gene Wilder. He married Carol Kleinman in 1964, staying together for 47 years until his death, and later landed a recurring judge role on LA Law. He died in 2011 at 87, and in 2026, a remix clip of him yelling, "Violet, you're turning violet," went viral on TikTok as a meme for bad spray tans. Violet Beauregarde chewed her way into the film's most disgusting punishment, turning into a giant blueberry after ignoring Wonka's warnings, and Denise Nickerson chewed so much gum filming it that she avoided gum for years. She was 13, nursing an unreturned crush on Peter Ostrom she later joked was heartbreaking. Widowed young when first husband Rick Keller died of a brain aneurysm just 2 years into their marriage, she quit acting at 21 to avoid becoming a washed-up child star, working instead as a nurse and later an aerospace accountant. A stroke in 2018 left her unable to walk or speak, and she died the next year at 62, remembered by friends as the kindest of the bad kids. The Candyman became a #1 hit for Sammy Davis Jr., but it was Aubrey Woods who sang it first, opening the film as Bill, the cheerful candy shop owner who sets the whole fantasy in motion. He was 42 during filming, and despite not being a professional singer, songwriters Veruca and Newley loved his everyman voice enough to record it in just a few takes. He married Gaynor Woods in 1952, staying together until his death 61 years later, a rare example of lasting devotion in the industry. He died in 2013 at 85, and in 2026, his version of Who Can Take a Sunrise found a strange second life online as a viral positivity sound. Charlie won the whole factory by being the only kid who didn't grab, gloat, or demand a thing. And that simple test of character is still why people return to this candy-colored fable decade after decade. Which Wonka punishment would you have been most likely to earn? The gum, the river, or the television screen? Subscribe for more Then and Now Deep Dives.